Hi.
How
It
are you?
feels like I think I forgot how we used to do it. So like uh how does that work?
Well, you know what it is? It's one of those of where, yeah, it's a literal hi. We're just connecting after not connecting for a while, right? And
Yes.
so that's why it's gonna it's well, because every day it's going to be a new. Every time it's going to be a new. I think that's the greatness, right? So hey, I'm good with hi.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, we were
Hello,
talking. We were
everyone.
talking.
That's
What's that?
chiming. I said I'm saying hi to anyone that's going to be chiming in and into the playback.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
Welcome. And if you watch the
mhm,
replay, welcome. Hope you're well. It's December. So how's it going?
wow, you know it's December and we're almost in the middle of December. Can you believe that? Hello, Mina.
Hi, hi, mom. Welcome. Yeah,
Yeah, like everyone's getting
it's
ready for the holiday. Yeah.
yeah,
It's nice though. You know
it
what I love?
is.
Because I don't celebrate Christmas, but you know what I do love? Because I didn't always not celebrate Christmas. I love lights. So I'm loving the
I
lights and
know.
I'm loving the colors and I'm loving, I go over to my nieces and just it's beautiful to see the tree and the lights and all of that. And yeah, just a
Yeah, yeah. I put on a background, but like I did the lights on in this room where I'm
yeah,
sitting right now. It just feels so beautiful because it gets dark because there's shorter days and it just
yeah,
feels really
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
And cozy. It feels really cozy, especially I've been really enjoying reading, and it does not feel like it's mid-December. Even today, I was like,
And
"What?" Like, what?
I
Especially
know.
where I am, it's not. It doesn't snow, so it does not feel like winter. And I'm like, my body's like, "Is it winter?" But it doesn't. Like, I'm in teeth right now, so like,
You know, I think the general consensus would say that something feels off.
um,
And that's through everyone that I've been talking to. It's like, whether it's about the weather or just that off feeling. And I think it's probably just because, you know what, the season has changed. It
yeah,
is a season of where, you know what, we are just, listen, we should be going into more of a hibernation state. So
yes,
put your body more into that, but during the same time of when, things are so hyped up all around us, it's not so much hibernating as much as we are probably more in a
mm,
high alert, you know, which is
mm,
going back and forth
it's
with our
true.
mind.
That's true. Like, if we look at nature, everything is going into rest and like
Right.
replenishment. And that was the whole point of 13 months year before Gregorian calendar came in. The month or two was supposed to be just about resting and just,
Yeah.
replenishing yourself, rejuvenating. And now we have this structure of society where we don't have that. And um, some people do get holidays, and good for you, but not everyone does. And it's just we
Exactly.
go against our the rhythm of how we are built, and I think that's the struggle.
To give you an example, because I do with hello, Sabrina. Nice
Welcome,
to see
Sabrina.
you. Listen,
Yeah, how have you been?
yeah, how have you been?
Yeah.
Good. I hope. But I was thinking about myself. Now, this time of the year, 8 o'clock, beyond eight
Mm,
o'clock, I can barely keep my eyes open. Now, granted, I do get up relatively early, but just because it gets dark early, it's colder, and I, but summertime, complete opposite. Eight
it
o'clock,
is.
I'm pumped and still going. So I think I'm right in aligned with the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is beautiful to keep, like, if you follow the rhythm how you're built, I think it is really helpful for your body and just in general. Um, so
No,
yeah,
I'm able to do
Sabrina,
that because I'm not working like, you know what, during those hours. So, I'm able to do
right,
that. Mm, yeah.
right. I'm glad you're good, Sabrina. So today's topic, I think we were having some discussions offline about loneliness, which is pretty normal and pretty common. But I thought let's discuss about it because I feel like why we're discussing this, because I think this is it's called a pandemic because people in large numbers are feeling disconnected, because it's the that's a keyword, like
Yeah.
disconnected,
Right.
um and for long durations of time. um and there are certain side effects, like health
Mhm,
issues, are also side effect and consequences of l- feeling that way for long durations of time.
mhm.
um, and it's been happening for decades. And then I did some research, um, but before I just, even people in the chat, or if you watch the replay, please participate, because it's not about preaching here, right? It's about participation. So like, when how many of you think that loneliness is more common currently than in the past? And even you, Hilda, what do you think? Like, is it something
Yeah,
that,
I definitely think that, you know what, it is something that some of us are battling with. It can be a lonely period. And what do I mean by that? When I talk about all the changes that have transpired, let's just say, what you talk about the uh, pandemic. I won't call it a pandemic. I'll call it a plandemic,
Mhm,
which obviously needed to also happen because it shifted a lot of change into place, which did create a lot of separation. And as we continued um, to go along, there is even more separation, those things that are separating us. And I think that, as we've often talked about, you know what, we're all being given the opportunity for an upgrade. Okay. And what do I mean by that? That if you know what, you are actually doing your personal work and all of that, that you know what, in upgrading, not everyone's going with you. So you know what, there's that lonely period of
yeah,
being, not really connected to people that are vibrating on your level. So there's that form
yeah,
of loneliness. There's the separation of loneliness just because of the views and that are taking place with a lot of people. So yes, I do think that loneliness is one of those things that, you know what, is probably in some aspects on an all-time high. At the
mm,
same time, we didn't just come through, we didn't get much therapy after coming through uh the pandemic. Okay, so that would have also left a whole lot of
mm,
residual. But losing my point. So yes, my point being is, as much as yes, I do think that there is a raised element of loneliness. I also think that there's also the opposite that's happening, which is that there's also a connection. There's
mm,
connection happening, which is probably the dual effect that's always happening all the time, right? So we're going to see it. But do you see the rise in the loneliness? Yes, I do. I feel that.
mm.
An answer, long answer to a.
Yeah, and why? Well, I also agree that I think pandemic just I don't think pandemic was the reason, but I think pandemic actually was helpful for us to see like how messed up we are right now. And it actually opened a window where we could see that what is actually going on. we couldn't perform anymore, right?
No.
um so it pushed a lot of us um to observe like what went wrong,
Mhm.
or to go the other way, which is like feeling even more lonely. um
Mm.
and then addiction and all of those, like shopping and all of that, really went like spiked during that time, right? um
Mhm.
but I was researching a little bit about it, and I was like, what why um because I experienced that growing up, but that was more about me not being able to fit in, which
Right.
is, I think you talked about a little bit. That's a different kind of loneliness. um because the culture I grew up in is very much about community and everything and all of that. But I realized that that is also presumption, because that's not actually true.
Mhm.
Um, and I was researching. It said that loneliness has been growing since the late 20th century. So it's been a while.
Right.
And why? There are several reasons. It said community life declined, which is very apparent in the West. Um, in the East, it's there, but there's a lot of toxicity also, which is part of being in a community, and you have to handle
Mhm.
those issues proactively. Um, but community life declined, it said. And then families spread out, more nuclear families, which is what happened. Like
Mhm.
I have a nuclear family. I grew up in a nuclear family. Um, so I did not really feel like a community, which is an
Right.
assumption
Mhm.
people associate with Indian
Right.
culture. Um,
Right.
and technology and how we interact, right? And then
Mhm.
social media came in. I remember there was Orkut in the beginning, and then Facebook came in, and then Instagram and Snapchat and all of that, which I think maybe really put us into performance mode even more, because that really
Yeah.
mirrored a lot of our insecurities.
Yes.
I mean, that's right. So, like,
Yes.
we can elaborate more, but this is another one. And then it said that COVID, like you mentioned, accelerated it, but did not start it, because there are more structural issues
R
that happen in the society, which is why we are here now.
Right. Mm.
The way we work, the way our I think our connection with nature, our connection with like fresh
Mhm.
produce, we have no idea where everything is. It's so different. I think life has become faster, but there's a huge cost that you're paying for that benefit. Which I don't know. Yeah.
You know,
So okay.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking that
Sorry.
of all everything that you just listed off there, which I think, what, all very good points. I think that do contribute to the loneliness factor. But I was thinking, what, we are uh, programmed to cycle our lives on a clock. And you know what? It's like that
Mm,
timepiece, and you factor all these extras into the timepiece, because now the common family has two people working outside the home. So you've got them going,
yeah.
spending the bulk of their hours, in their most resourceful hours outside the home. They come back and they meet mid or end of day, really, end of day, to cram in. So how much of
Yeah.
the connections are really going on there? Children, who, if they have sports or anything like that, because everyone's so engaged now. So I, on a serious note, all this extra, even social media, doesn't, it just shows you that if we are not taking the time to
Right.
make for connection, then
Mm,
it's going to result in loneliness. And then that loneliness is going to exhibit itself in many different ways, because a lot of people mask. their loneliness. They're not looking
Fair
sad,
point.
over like that. Some people are, hitting out to the bars almost every night. And slamming down drinks to just be out and be around people. Some people are engaging online in a fury, sharing all their personal
Mm,
detail just to feel connected to someone. You got someone who's, doing the dating line because there's all different forms
mm,
of loneliness and how we uh,
yes.
deal with it, right? But most of us run from it as opposed to uh,
Mm.
center in to see really what's going on.
Yeah,
Or
and
just
that's a fair point. It is.
because it's like
And
to say that you're lonely would mean what? You're vulnerable? To mean what? That you're not as important maybe as someone else that has a whole bunch of people around them right now. I don't know. Like I don't know why people want to run from the word lonely.
yeah, and that was my next question. Like even people in the chat or if you watch the replay, like why do you think it's hard for us to admit um that we are feeling lonely? Like why like where is that coming from, right? Because and I think you said a little bit like we want to or make a certain image of ourselves, which is what social media is all about. We only share the better parts of our life, and it can give performance.
Performance in performance, that's a tricky thing because and you look at social media, my God, it's set up for performance. And what is everybody doing now? Snap
Yes.
their best moments. You see them with food, you see them with people, you see them with drinks. It's like I'm not lonely. I'm not lonely. And then what they don't show is the moment that they go back to their home or their place or whatever, or even how they really are feeling inside.
Why do you think why do you think that is? Like why do you because I think I my relationship with social media has changed over time because I was off social media for a lot of years. And then I came back because I thought this is my life and it was almost like a diary. And I wanted to document part of my life that sort of like a tool for expression, which is what I feel social media is, because it is really about expression and then finding like minded people and building a community. Um, and I think it actually gives you access to meet people all over the world, which you might not in person, because that's what
Mhm,
we're
mhm,
out of in a way, that tribal mentality. It's not about that. It's about frequency and it is about connection.
mhm,
And but I do understand that that performance is also a kind of it's a way to build connection. We want to feel connected to people, showing ourselves off as being perfect and we have this perfect life and like we're so happening and all of that. Um, but again, like you said, it then the crux is
Then
that why are we performing?
why does
Yeah,
one feel the need to abandon their truth though? If it's the opposite, if it's not,
right.
why do you feel like you could not be vulnerable? And that goes
Yeah.
who are the people that are around you that you are performing for? And why are they you performing, Because most people are in some form of a performance.
Yes. Which I think it is interesting because I have been thinking a lot about this recently. Like why see if first of all you have to notice like why are you feeling this way? Is it true? Like that's a question worth asking. Is it true? Because your emotions can make up something which actually does not exist. And you can be overstimulated or your habits are not helping or whatever it is. To first question yourself, is it true? Is it real? Or is it um, you know?
And you should. I just want to make a disclaimer too that this is excluding those from the conversation who are dealing have a mental illness, which is dealing with depression. That's a different kind of depression.
Right.
Sometimes it's there's other things going on there. So I think you know what that's something different. I think it's
Yeah.
something
And
going on.
right, but I also feel that, of course, like to get to seek help wherever you can, but
Right.
I think I actually believe that most of us have some kind of mental illness in today's world.
Yes.
But it just because you cannot categorize it does not mean that you're not affected. And to
Yes.
be able to s- have those skills so that you can handle yourself, and
Mm,
to learn the skills, because um I feel like, I don't know, it's been an interesting ride for me, because I have felt terribly lonely, but then at the end of the day, it required, even if you have community, which I have gotten at times, it can only help you when you have a certain level of safety in your being, because you won't believe it. Even if someone tells you, "Hey, you're amazing," you'll be like, because you don't see your self worth. So I think it does require community. Also requires a certain level of work.
I was
Um,
going to say that when you said about being lonely, and you know what, like it's more than just having community and having people and engaging with people. Sometimes that loneliness comes from the place of, you know what, I'm not finding people who are resonating on my level or that resonate with me, even though I'm around people. So that's being like surrounded by people, but you know what? You're not really resonating. Or you don't feel that, you know what, you're really resonating with those people. So that's a different kind of loneliness, because,
yeah,
we're all at different levels, right? So,
absolutely. It is loneliness. I don't think there's one definition. It's subjective. Like you said, it is very subjective. Um, but I think at this point, how do you think that when we're talking about the aspect of feeling physically like lonely, why do you think that, what makes it hard for some people to reach out? Because that's a thing with me too, like, you know, when you have fought your battles for so long, it's hard to just um
first thing I thought about was trust. Do you trust your environment? Sometimes, you know what, we're just not trusting our environment,
yeah.
right? So that reaching out, depending on, yeah, that being a big one. I think that to begin with, do you trust your environment? And then
Mm,
eventually, I think that, like everything, there comes a point when one has to do something about their own loneliness. If you're continuing to feel that way, what are you doing though? What are you doing to connect? Whether I don't even care if it, if you're not trusting your environment in the sense of that, I can't really trust the people that are around me. What are you doing? Are you going out there and you're trying to connect with, I don't know, nature? Perhaps, maybe, you know? Um,
yes.
but you got to do something, is all I'm saying, to go out there and change the dynamic, because the dynamic is just not going to change itself. And I think it starts with the
Right.
changing of mind. You know what I mean?
Mindset. Yeah. It is a belief system again that this is my idea of not feeling lonely. And sometimes um I felt that it's just interesting when I think I don't even know, like, I think it has also to do with certain age you are in. It can feel the ideas change and evolve as you grow and as you develop your mental capacity. And I think as a child, I used to feel like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. Like, I just don't belong here. And then over time, it required me to build healthier habits and routine and like, doing things that actually, like you said, help you feel less lonely. Because, and to change that belief system that this is how it should look, you have to have people around you. Like, who said that? And also, we are never lonely. If you really perspective, there are always people around us. But I think it's really important to, first of all, um, zoom in and see what are you really seeking: emotional connection, physical connection, like mental connection, like what are you seeking?
That's, that I want to read Sabrina's comment, and then I
Oh,
want to make a comment to that because you know
yes.
what? Um, Good point. Yes, Hilda, there is a different type of loneliness when you are not interacting or around people that are also on the spiritual, yeah, that are on the spiritual journey. Exactly. People that are not seeing through the same lens that you're seeing things through a spiritual eye. If things are very literal with them, it's yeah, that's make for a lonely journey.
I think it's just so interesting, which is probably why, that's a very good point, Sabrina. It's just phase that growing up too, which is probably why I was like, I don't want to be part of any religion. Because if religion actually secludes you from people, that's not my religion and that's not my God. Because it is supposed to help you connect with people around you and in the community around you. But what ends up happening is because, again, it's a belief system and it's social conditioning on top of it. And then patriarchy and all of these things ends up making it like almost cultish. I like that's what I see. It is so cultish, all of this.
If you experience an upbringing of where there was a lot of trauma or there was there's a narcissistic element or lots of narcissism inside your home. If you grew up in that type of a dynamic, then
Yes.
first of all, I can guarantee you that you know what, you are going to have an unregulated nervous system if you have not done
Yeah.
the emotional stabling of your emotions and handle. And I'm not going to say that you're even after you do all these things that it's going to be perfect. I'm just going to say this, that you know what, if you haven't, if you come from that and you haven't done the work that is required
Mm,
to experience levels of loneliness and isolation and all of the above because of what you experienced in your upbringing. So
very good point. I was reading that, the well regulated people or people who have emotional intelligence are actually born from environments like this out of
mhm,
necessity. We're
mhm.
not,
Oh,
we
necessity.
out of necessity, out of survival, because they had to learn all of these things to get some sense of certainty and safety in their systems. So, absolutely. But it is not, it's not an easy path. Um,
Empaths
and
are
I
made.
think, yeah,
Empaths are made. They are made because they come through
right.
struggling, traumatic experiences that you know what
Yeah.
they've they're forged into empaths. It's they're just not made with
Yes.
this. sensitive and all of
Yeah,
that. They become hypersensitive because of their experiences that they experience in the world or how the world treated them.
exactly. And it's sometimes it's like, and I was reading that most of the time your nervous system is well, not most of the time, it's family systems, that whole topic, right? Where it's like um your nervous system will most likely match with your mother emotionally, and like father in a masculine way. How you interact with the world, that's what you are copying, because that's
Mhm.
all you know. And so it's really important, like you mentioned, to build better habits and routines and structures so you can train your nervous system to feel safe. And that, I think, also solves the loneliness aspect, because that's what you're feeling. You are still, I feel, are engaging from the nervous system of a child, because
Mhm.
it's not reality. It's just, that's how a child feels like. That's it. That it's that I'm left by myself. It's not the truth though, because
Have your own cages. I'll just say that. I have been guilty of building my own cage,
same. Yeah,
very much. And I'm just thinking about just as of late, what just the changing of my mindset opened me up into because previously my closed. Opening up my mindset opened me up to a completely different experience in reference to people, you know? So, yeah.
that's true. And it's really important to to understand, like, you have to really call on your bullshit sometimes. Like, sometimes we are causing issues to
Or
ourselves. um
have, that's where I think it's important to have real, authentic people around you who
right.
narrow your shit back to you sometimes so that because, you know, yeah.
That's true. I mean, so many times I feel like, oh, I know what I'm doing. And it's like, no, no, girl.
Mhm,
Like, you need help and you need some perspective, and you need people,
mhm,
sometimes that can, sometimes we're dysregulated. And I think that was the whole point of community, that we are built to co-regulate.
yeah.
Um, and we unconsciously we copy each other. Like, it's so interesting. I'll just give you a small example, like how powerful that is. You building certain systems and structure in your life, or better habits, people copy around you. Like, I started going out and, you know um and working out. And after a certain point, like in the end, I will just go on a swing and I will just have so much fun. Like, I do that every time I visit the park. And people started copying that. And it was so interesting. It was this very, like, a person in their 20s, I think, and having a blast. And I'm like, that's what I'm saying. We are built to copy each other. So most of the time, if you're feeling a certain way, you're following the nervous system of people around you. So you need a better environment. And I know that I have been guilty of this. And that's something I consistently am working on. I have a really strong connection with nature, probably out of necessity, because I felt really alone and I
Mhm.
felt very misunderstood. Um, and I still do have a strong connection with nature. But I think that um, this life is more about finding safety in other people also. And I'm not saying just anybody, but it's like, yeah, I think it is
I,
important.
I want to make one point to what you were talking about, and especially the point you made. I want to go back to the swing.
Okay.
Who said that you had to be a certain age to enjoy the swing?
I
So,
know.
going the swing opened up. Like I can do that too. I can actually enjoy swing. I was a child.
Yes.
Like there was no age.
Yes.
how we associate the playground to the child. You know,
Absolutely.
nothing,
We're
nothing.
powerful. Like it's like our actions impact everyone around us. Even when they don't want to admit, it affects everyone. They can react differently, they can resist, they can project, but it affects everyone. So like keep doing you, and that's just powerful. I keep saying that. I think I also shared that a couple days ago on my YouTube channel too. It's like we're powerful. We don't understand that, but we are. um but yeah, sorry, go on. Like people
No,
are
no.
important.
Yeah, I love
People are
that too.
important. And I also want to reiterate, it's not just about romance. Are you kidding me? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. How much sexual intimacy you can have. There's a life beyond that. Grow up. Grow up. And I think that we as a society have put this one relationship on a pedestal. Dude, you're missing out. It's like saying, I will just read one book my whole life.
Mm, mm,
What?
mm,
You can learn so much. You can do so much. It's like saying, I'm just going to stay here in this house. There's a whole world out there.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
I don't
And
know. It's,
you know what? That orgasmic feeling that you experience with another, you can be
yeah.
experiencing that all the freaking time. And just when you embrace just the sense of life, that's what it feels like when you're
Yes.
embracing full experience of being present in the moment of nature. You said nature being that migrating source too. Mm, mm,
And that was a whole point of spirituality, by the way, that
mhm,
your life force, your Shakti, whatever you want to call it, is interacting with life in a full way. It's like you
mm,
see a flower and you bloom, like, and you see a baby and you're feeling the joy and the peace. But it's really takes a lot of work. That's why inner work to challenge all of those belief systems that we have constructed in our minds, which is why it takes a certain level of mm, mindset. And of course, requires work every day. It's something that you continue to develop. But I think that's what we are here for. And we are here to connect with each other. Um, and I think we always do, even if it's a different language. Like and it depends on the conditioning, right? A person in
mhm.
India won't be able to relate to hamburgers. I'm just
No,
saying.
no,
And that does not mean that they are an alien, which is what they write on the forms, an alien. Look at the language. Okay, that's a different topic. But
yeah.
you see, like how compartmentalized and disconnected we are from people around us. Like,
Or what do they write on the form?
oh, they do. Like any type of form that you fill for this, for example, the United States, they write you as an alien.
Okay, yes, yes. That's that
I
legal
just,
joke.
I just, that language, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. It's not right. Okay.
Oh,
So the type of language we use, the type of belief systems we have,
it's
it's okay. You can still have a conversation. Like you don't need an exact replica of yourself to develop a connection. That's how we learn from our each other.
from our differences if we were able to set
Yeah,
and
right.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah.
if we are taught to be fearful, and if we are taught to see them as the other, what we are
Mm-hmm.
doing, we are actually punishing ourselves because our inherent nature is to connect and to have that good exchange of thoughts and whatever it is, like, but then we are stopping it and we're like, no, that's who I am. And hey, welcome, Edward. And like,
Oh,
that's who I am. And I don't care. And all of that.
mhm.
Like that whole dynamics, men hate women, women hate men. We see it everywhere. And I don't we need to understand each other. That's the only bridge. Like,
Once again, I think that, the way of the design is it's we are designed for division, you know,
we
and
are.
that's
And
system, right? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I've observed that, and I observe a lot because I feel like we need to be better listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Because I go to the park sometimes and I'll just sit there, and like these little kids who are barely like one or maybe two, they'll just gather around me for no reason, and they just want to sit and they just want to hang out. There's no agenda, right? And that's the point. Like, we can learn from kids what what we really are for here. They have no filter, they have no conditioning,
How
right?
many of us actually make informed decisions when it comes to the world around us, when it comes to the people around us? And that means that,
Right.
you actually have, um, and or is most of your information coming from a biased space? It means you gotta take some work, you gotta take some time. Where's your information coming from, you know?
Oh my god, that's so true. Wow, wow, wow. Yes.
You
Like the
know,
news that we keep watching,
so keep talking.
like the news that we are fed is bought by the politicians because they want to enforce their propaganda. And we keep listening to it, and our subconscious accepts it. And we keep operating from those made up stuff, right? Which is why it is so important, like you said, to have I think, personal experiences and then form an opinion rather than just listening and just saying anything, and accepting it, right? What do people in the chat think? Like, I really, this is a good point.
We live in a world of where information overload. Everyone is there's a platform for your opinion. A lot of
Well,
views.
opinions are not the truth, right?
Mm,
You can have an opinion, but it's not the truth. To find the truth, you need to have a personal experience, right? How can you form an opinion based on someone's assumption or
but in this,
experience?
most people are judged through the court of opinions, unfortunately, because they're not taking the time to do the due process. Most people are
Well, you're missing out then, because uh,
absolutely.
first of all, and that's where performance comes in, and we're like, we want to let everyone know that people pleasing tendencies. That's where people pleasing tendencies comes from. It's like, oh no, no, I'm neutral and I'm on your side. Like, don't
Mm,
attack me. What are we even doing? What are we even
mm,
doing? Like, where is our authenticity? Where is our sovereignty? Right?
mhm, mhm.
We if we are why do the government, I'm just saying, why is there so much propaganda if we are not important and our opinions are not important?
You said the word sovereignty. Why is it? But your sovereignty is that's we don't have sovereignty. So you know what? And everything in this patriarchal society has you looking either exterior or it's already been established. This is the way you go. This is exactly what you do. None of it is about how do you really feel? What do you really want? Because if most folk were asked that, or were allowed to actually, or take the time to do that, instead
Well,
of going
and I
pro
was
process thought that's ahead of you or that's been given to you, what would the world look like? But most people's frustration, I think, is coming from that right now. That's what's being challenged on the whole friggin' planet. The whole planet is being challenged in that way. And so, therefore, you do see more of an uprise. People are speaking out more. People are feeling challenged more in different
yes,
situations. And we talk about the loneliness
yes,
that can breed a certain element of loneliness because with any challenge, there usually does come disappearance of people, things, it does change. It does change. So the whole planet, I think, is going through its upgrade in some kind of way.
that is so true. Yeah, I was having a conversation with my friend yesterday, and I was like, whose timeline are we following? And which is why I guess we've all become so passive because we're not feeling alive, and we're not
Mhm.
living from our joy, we're not living from our purpose, our potential. We're living from this made up timeline that everyone is following, and then they follow it and they're so tired by the end of it that they don't have time to follow what actually brings them joy,
One of the
right?
big tricks that was given to us was Father Time, the clock. When you're thinking on a 24-hour clock basis, it puts you in limitation. You feel like you're always racing against a clock, and that's by design, I want to say. But when you come to know in your new awareness that everything happens in spirit time or in universal time,
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
a, that they created a
Oh my
clock
god.
more
Yes.
for you and to keep you distracted so that you don't go inward. Instead, what you do is you check the clock. So that's another thing. People are challenging that because the inner clock is saying, wake up.
That's true. That is so true because I feel like the God spirit, whatever you want to call it, does not work on the human timeline. It has its own timing, which but then we are so programmed or brainwashed to keep doing and keep pushing that sometimes we just need to chill. I think we need to chill more, is what I think. Just like just like the birds do, just like animals do. And it's like and when it's time for action, you will know. But then don't
Fired where
frustrate yourself for this. Oh, bye, Edward. Have a great day or night, wherever you are. And it's like, why? I think I missed the point. But seriously, it's like, oh yeah. What I was saying was that that's what I've been working on these days to just chill. Can
hmm
I just can I just relax? Like, why is it so hard to relax? Because that's what I was taught my whole life, to keep pushing and to keep doing, to keep proving, and to keep certificates and degrees and money and this and that and that and that. And it's like, wait, I'm still not, I'm still, it's like you will feel a difference in the things that are real. How? For example, if you make something with your own hand, there is a certain level of satisfaction and fulfillment that you get. But when you make this made up money, you don't get that. You just don't get that. It's not like that money cannot help you feel that, but it's the choices, and it's our focus, and it's our time and presence that actually brings life, not the money itself. Money can be a medium, right? And so it's just interesting. It's just interesting how we're taught to just, and I think that's why people are scrolling so much. And that's
energy,
what I feel.
food that you prepare, your energy goes into that food process, cooking process. Your thoughts,
Mm,
all of, and So you experience a better experience as opposed to having maybe someone's energy going in there that didn't want to prepare the food, that you are ingesting. So a lot of us today are ingesting somebody else's energy because we're eating
It is a thing.
it's
It is.
real energy because folk are
It
just
is. It is real, and it's just about. I think it's just so interesting. Like, no matter how many illusions there are, the truth is still the truth. And that's why I feel I keep saying that to people around me. I keep thinking, I'm like, we need more healthy masculine. We do. When
hmm
I say healthy masculine, it's like clarity, focus. Um,
hmm
why? Because we are just running on someone else's timeline and some like
hmm
it's this very unhealthy version of masculine that we most of us are following, and we are sick mentally, physically, emotionally. And why are we doing
I
this to ourselves?
said too as well is we need a healthy version of the feminine to
Right, I was
real
coming to that, but like
version of
first,
that.
because if you want quick, like if you want quick changes, it is very easy. Focus
hmm
on your habits, focus on your routine, focus on where what you are ingesting, right? That's the healthy masculine. Of course, then we also need feminine, but I think the problem is that it takes a certain level of sensitivity, I feel like, to engage with the feminine. You can't just we're like, oh, I have got new nails.
hmm
No, I've done all of that. It does not work like this.
Well,
It takes time, and I think it is equally important. But I
it's just a
think
s-
that
of the feminine energy. I think when I
what is
think
that?
of I said that's just a part of the feminine energy, the
Right.
thing, right?
Right.
Uh,
Because it will change your life. That's what feminine is, because it's a way of living and operating, and you can't just fake it. It's so random, and you have to be extremely present to express that energy in whatever
right?
way it wants to express itself. So it does require a certain level of connection with your body, sensitivity, all of that, emotions. But yeah,
We
I
got
miss
some.
some messages. Yeah. Sabrina says, oh, Edward says, God bless you all. God bless you too. Thank you. True. Sabrina says, we need your high vibration and aura attracts the children.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
I think it's just about being normal. It's not even like, why can't we just be? I think I just try to be. I don't even think I think like, I need to be this way. It's just about being authentic. Can we just be like so maybe uh Edward says I have to go by. Sabrina says 100% on the energy and food. It is.
Mm,
And there's like a direct correlation. Like I've seen if I eat crappy food, bad decisions,
yeah,
it's like everything feels like crap.
yes, yes. Even the body, well, you can really feel it in the body, and then it's yeah,
And you feel like it's like no, it's like absolutely like our how much time are we on social media, what are we ingesting, and what are
mhm,
we watching, what are we reading, um
mhm,
are we smelling the flowers? Do we have life around us? Like, do we, it's like little things. Do we have hobbies? Do we do things by hand? Like, smell, involve all our senses. That's where then feminine comes in. Um,
there was a
it's
time
there's just
we were
yeah,
more aged that way. Now everything is down to age. there's either a service that's provided or it has been packaged for you in such a way that you can buy it today.
Well, I think that's why we feel lonely, because we are not really engaging with all of our faculties, human faculties, right? And in the past, we would do things by hand, and we would, and it would, our time would go there. So it's like you don't even have time to think about all of the stuff that we're feeling right now. It's almost like our fast life is actually landing us into more loneliness.
Mm,
Either you're fueled by so much passion, and you have crystal focus, and you know exactly what you want, and you go towards it. Otherwise you will feel lonely, because it requires you to do some serious inner work,
yeah.
so that you don't feel lonely. And that is part of what we're talking about today, that how are we engaging with our life? What are we doing to get out of loneliness? What are we doing? Are we
Mm,
waiting for someone? Because there ain't no one coming. That's another thing. I don't know about like culture in the West, but in the East, it's more about like that whole thing about feeling chosen. Like someone should choose me. Like,
right, right. I know,
where's that coming from?
I know. Yeah, like pick me. No, I'm not a pick
Like,
me. Yeah, you
I
know,
pick, all right?
it's
No one picks me.
my choice. It's my choice.
Yeah,
Ah,
it's just,
you know,
yeah, it is a thing.
when you remove yourself, it's true. It's not only is it about removing yourself from the programming, because I think that's a process and it's something that you are continuing to deal with because you are going through the process of change. Hold steady, remain consistent to yourself. And the more
Mm,
consistent with honoring yourself, it will balance itself out. Just know that, you know what, with every change, I do believe that there is listen, the universe will remove the people away from you that no longer fit. That's
yeah,
it's just a part of the process. In the
it
interim,
is.
a period of hollowness where there's doesn't seem to be anything there. Experiencing that on some level due to the various things that we just did in this life. My point being is hold on
That's
because
true. Hold on. Yes.
this is the time period right now. I believe that, you know, for the person that if it is indeed something that you might be struggling with, well, find that what listen, if you are feeling indeed lonely that way, then you know, I don't know whether you go volunteer, go give of yourself in some way. Because when you go
Mhm.
do that, when you go give up yourself, there's a feeling that is you will experience that. I can guarantee you will feel that
Yeah.
lonely. And if you do
Yeah.
enough of find some way to give of yourself. If that's what you're needing. And trust me, if you're looking, because you're not, unless you're living in like a hermit on an island, and that's because you chose to be the hermit on the island. But you know what? There are people in your neighborhood. You just have to maybe put yourself out there in some kind of way. You know,
Mm,
be
that's
the connect
true.
that you want to be. You have to do something in some kind of way to change your circumstances. And when you do, and you are setting the intentions that are coming from a true, pure place, true, pure, real results coming back to you. If they're coming from a place of authenticity.
That's a really good advice. I feel like my whole point of even starting my channel was this, that I am not waiting for anyone to come and pick me. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna just go out and show up and start expressing myself, which is, and also in a way that challenges me,
Hmm.
because comfort is not comfort is not real. Okay, comfort is something that you're just used to. It's not. It's not soul led. And to understand the difference, because there's so many things we are just comfortable with, but
Mm.
they're not actually helping you grow. They're not actually, yeah. So
You can
good
always
advice.
brings uncomfortableness. You're good. So you know what? If we get uncomfortable, if we get comfortable being
Yeah, uncomfortable. That's
uncomfortable with being
yeah.
comfortable, right? Then that um change process, I think we navigate it a lot easier instead of resisting the discomfort. But to know for a reason.
So yeah, and it's so interesting because moving back to India was not easy for me. It
Mm,
was uncomfortable, but I am actually learning so much more about myself in the process that I wouldn't have when I
mhm,
was just by myself, for example.
mhm,
So I think it is just you do yourself a favor when you put yourself in different environments.
mhm.
Also others, they also need you, believe it or not.
Yes, 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 absolutely.
People do need your light, and it's hard to believe when you're
We
yeah,
are interconnected and we do lay an impact. Whether you know what, you're either laying on a positive impact or you are
yeah,
laying an impact that is, you know what, you're altering things, but not in such a way. Right? Depends on.
absolutely. Like it's just so it's just so interesting, like how the mind can seriously
Mhm,
make your world so small, almost like make you feel invisible, but that's the last thing that you are.
mhm,
But to give mind so much power over your decision making, that
mm.
the only way I have found is to experience different things. Um, yeah, but it's just interesting. All right, that was a really good advice.
Yeah.
Um, and okay, I had another. I think you kind of answered it, but we will wrap it up real quick in a few minutes. But if loneliness is a shared experience, like we all go through it, so what is a responsibility then that we have for each other, to each
Mm.
other? Like we do, yeah. What do you think about that?
Right away, one of the things I thought about was the fact that in the building of healthy relationships, one of the things in the building is a checking in. We actually take the time to check in. And when I say check in, really check in. How are you doing?
Mm,
How are you doing? Not performance check in. Check in of, you know what, I am
mm,
invested. So we do more of that. You're going to get, doesn't mean that people aren't allowed to have their space, but you know what? You never know at the moment that you're reaching them, that the moment that you're in need it. Mhm. Being cognizant to check in and, you know, as I said, and if you are indeed experiencing what I think feels like a loneliness that's not disappearing, what are you doing? Do something. Give back. Give of yourself and find some way to give back. And I know right now what somebody's saying to me right now, they're gonna say, well, you know what? I don't have any no money. I don't have no money. It's not about money. I'm gonna tell you something. Not every connection is about money. You know, some things are just engaging with someone. I don't know, find that senior in your neighborhood or whatever who might be experiencing the same type of isolation as you. So when you say hello to them, it completely changes the whole freaking dynamic. I know I have them in my neighborhood and I do say hello to them all the time, and it does change the dynamic and changes it with me, especially if I'm feeling that
awesome.
aloneness. moment in time. You don't feel alone after that. You realize you are connected. You just got to find the
That's
opportunity.
true.
We're
Really,
never
really
engaged because you know what? We're interacting with people all the time. And what you don't realize is that what you're experiencing, the cashier that's waiting on you may be experiencing that same type of disconnect. And you have an opportunity to make the connection just by words of exchange. I know this because you know what? Listen, it happens to me on regular, but it just happened to me the other day, and it was a beautiful thing. I was able to see that what someone who was normally smiling all the time was not as connected. And because I wanted to know, I know you're going through something. This is not normal. So yet she still had to go to work, she had to still wait in the line and do all of that. But you know what? I wanted to let her know that she was also that she was seen, she was appreciated,
mm,
and the fact that she was coming in and still standing up on this day, we had some challenges that you are appreciated. And not only that, but you're needed because you're coming here with heart. So I
right,
was able to do all those things. So tell me that human connection. This is my cashier, Walmart cashier.
right,
Doesn't mean I'm calling her every day. None of that, but making connection.
right. I think that's the thing. Like, and we need to wrap up real quick because my battery. But that is a really good point. I think that I talked a little bit before, like, why does it always have to be about forever? Why can't we just connect to random people, not because we want something? It's just a human connection, right? That
Yes,
the shared human experience is enough to feel
yes,
that bond. And that's another reason, like, why we feel so disconnected. Like, that was my
yes,
thing when I moved here and I reached out. But then it's also like noticing when it's not helping. So be cognizant, all right? Just saying. Um
I'm going to tell you something. I'll give you an example. Or the one that you're speaking to, and they've always got the frown. Move it on to the next person because I can guarantee you, you know what? I'm going to eventually they're going to be jealous of the next person that you get the frown that you're giving
yeah,
your you know yeah that they're
yeah,
frown upside down ain't working around here. So like you
right.
said, even don't waste your energy.
Yeah, so I think that everything else is like where you need to step away, do that, but like just be careful. And also, it's just the world we live in, unfortunately. Fortunately. um Another, I guess, do you have any other question, Hilda, or we can wrap up?
No, I don't. But I'm going to tell you that what as I said to you in the beginning, I did not know how today was going to go. I'm always interested to see where we land. But a great discussion, Revni.
Yes. Yes,
Always
it was.
corresponding with you and with the gals
Yes,
and
likewise. And everyone in the
yeah.
chat and for listening. Absolutely. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's just I feel like
Yes, thank you.
social media really can be a great tool to connect with people if we choose to do so.
Right.
Um it's just like any other tool. If you know how to use it, it can be beneficial, right? Um so absolutely. So we are, we are connecting right now on social media. So this is, it's also a bliss. Um, Anyways, um, let us know what you guys think. Any other topic you have in mind? Any comments you have about today? And
Any
you
suggestions?
know, any
Please, yeah, put them in
it's
the
just
chat. If you have a suggestion of something that you'd like to see us discuss, because you know what, you like the way that we do what we do, Please put it
Right.
in the chat.
And also,
Oh,
if you want to do a collab, you want to have a discussion, like feel free. Like our emails are in the description. Hilda's channel is Nova Scotia's Organic to the Land Stories. I will tag her in the description box below. But yeah,
I love
I
that.
mean, I think it's really about it's not about performance, it's just about connecting. So I think that was the whole idea. So I hope you felt heard or seen, even if you don't want to speak. It's all good. I understand. We understand. But yeah. All right. Thank you for being here, Hilda. It's always a pleasure. Um, I hope we continue to evolve and we continue to grow and build
Absolutely.
beautiful connection. And we will meet you next week on Hilda's channel. Um,
Yeah.
let's see when, but
Oh, we
we'll
don't
keep you
know.
posted.
Well, probably it will be Saturday again. We'll do it. We'll open it up
Okay,
again for Saturday because my
Saturday.
Fridays, uh, Fridays are taken right
No
now.
worries.
Um, no, and the topic. Well, I'll be getting back to you with the topic. We'll figure out what it is we're going to talk about. And in the meantime, as
Yeah,
I said, if you are watching the playback and you do see that there is or that there's something that you'd like us to put it in the chat. Put it in the chat because I know I always go back to the chats of our lives and I'm looking and I
yeah,
love it when you share your you know comments and beautiful.
exactly. All
Anyways,
right. Take
love
care.
you.
Take
Thank
love
you.
love you. Love you. All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you again. Goodbye.